Eventually. Welcome to another episode of the Air Raid Attack podcast. I'm your host, Mike. You're listening to the unfiltered, unscripted, 100% authentic podcast. More importantly, we got a fun show for you tonight. We're going to be talking some college football, Arkansas, of course, my take on their season, which hopefully you Hog fans will like me a little bit more than you probably did about a year or two ago. So, nonetheless, it's going to be a fun one. I got my good friend who's the biggest Hogs fan that I know, and one of many biggest fans of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is it obvious?
Yeah, it's obvious. It's definitely obvious. But no, nonetheless, I respect the organization, even though I still hate their guts. Uh, my good friend Tesha, welcome aboard. I'm glad to have you. It's gonna be a fun show.
I think so. Let's go.
First things first, I got to pick your brain here. Of course, we're going to talk some Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill getting shipped off to Miami. I know you guys are bummed. I know you're bummed. You still got Travis Kelsey. And
I've had enough time.
do you really see? I don't think you guys will suffer that bad. Do you
I
guys
don't either.
really will suffer offensively, or what's that offense going to look like?
Hmm, I mean, okay, I don't know if you, well, if, obviously you would remember when the Russell Wilson thing went down on Twitter and it just exploded. And I won't
Oh,
lie,
yeah.
like I sit there and I was like, oh, this is good stuff, man. And then it wasn't very many days after that. And I was like, oh, I just got karma so hard. So I don't know. I think it'll be all right. The initial shock was like, I cried. It was pretty crazy, but I think we're going to do good. We brought on some talent. We brought on some talent. Like there's maybe some superstars. We'll see. There's already a couple superstars we know, so we'll see.
Yeah. I won't tell you guys the inside joke about Travis Kelsey, but we do know Big 87 is going to have a big year. I think he's going to be more targeted now. But no, I think I honestly do believe that maybe this will make my head look a bit smaller. Oh my God, no. Anyway, um, no, I think you guys would be perfectly fine. I do think. I don't know. I'm still not sold in your guys' running back core though.
Yeah, that's definitely somewhere that needs work. What do you think about McColl Hardman? I've always been a fan. I mean, he drops the ball a lot, which is not ideal, but I think he's got heart. I think he's going to step up at least and do something better. We'll see. He's got so much competition now, though. It went, for a minute it was like, okay, that's pretty much all we have, and then now you have Juju, you have the new guys, which I'm pretty excited about. Justin, I won't lie. I hope that pans out. There's no telling; it's too early, but I think if it does, that'll be explosive.
I think honestly, I like Hardeman. I think that he's going to be what's a good fit. Like just he's gonna be like a Jarvis Landry type. He's gonna get you your he's gonna get your catches and receive. He's not a big name kid, but he's gonna eventually be a superstar in the making. I'll put it
I think
that way.
so. He's put the work in. I think so.
Yeah,
He
I
did drop
think
his Super Bowl ring on national television, though, and that set a little bit of a precedent. We're like, just hold on to it. No, he's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to do well, and he's rooted. He's I'm a huge fan of like the bro code and just the team, team camaraderie and all of that. So you have
yep.
the ones that are still there. They're all friends. They all talk. They all hang out. When you lose and you're mad, you're upset. You go to the locker room. You figure it out. You hash it out. I feel like we have that going for us on top of a ton of talent, which a lot of teams don't have that. You have friction, and I don't think that that's healthy for an organization. So double bonus.
The only friction I would say that you guys have is Patrick Mahomes' annoying wife and
What?
and his
You're already
brother
coming at Brittany? We want this
and his
4 minutes
brother.
in, and you're coming for Brittany?
You said there's no friction, which you guys don't have. I'll give you guys credit on that. Besides the off the field issues with
Yes,
Brittany, his annoying brother, whatever his name is,
Jackson.
Mahomes. Yeah, there you
How
go.
could I forget? Oh Lord. Yeah, I mean it's personal stuff. You have to be able. Hopefully, we can separate it. I think it is an issue. I just ignore it, so it's not an issue for me.
No, you're good. No, I really do think you guys would be perfectly fine this year. I don't think. And you look at Pat Mahomes, his stats speak volumes, regardless of who's his receiving core is. And
That's a big deal.
more importantly, his stats are a lot better without Tyreek.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I feel good about it. So I had my moment. I was really sad, and I'm good. So I'm a big trust in the process person, though, and we have some very, very smart people running our stuff. So let's do it.
Well,
Got
you
to
got the Kool Aid
figure it
man
out.
running the doing it. You got the Kool Aid guy. Uh, does have you never heard that Andy
No.
Reid?
Oh, come on.
He
Okay.
looks like the Kool Aid man. You
You,
have to at least.
you be nice. Be nice to Reed. That is a
I
legend,
like
man.
no, I like Andy Reid. I felt bad he got stuck with To in Philly, and even though Dominic McNabb gave up on the season in the
Solid
Super
stuff.
Bowl.
If you think about the things that Andy Reid has done just to shape and form, I mean, just the NFL entirely, his hand is in it somewhere at some point, almost in everything. And so that says a lot.
No, I respect him. I like Andy Reid. He's obviously going to be a oh, I don't know, what would you say, first ballot Hall of Famer? I don't know how that coaches go, but nonetheless, he's going to be
Definitely earned a
he.
spot.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. But you guys would be fine. I am concerned about your secondary though. Losing Honey Badger is going to be not a. It wasn't a huge blow. It's going to hurt to an extent. I don't think to the degree. Defensively,
Yeah, and I guess I always will be. I'm a huge Matthew fan. Super solid dude on the field. He is a hype guy. He will
yep.
build you up when you're down. I mean, that is like the core of good football, just all of it, the entire package. I feel like he left when it was right. He kind of ran himself out of town, if that makes sense, with just overindulging in Twitter, which is super easy to do sometimes because people have feelings and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it got to the point where he didn't fit here anymore. So let him go somewhere else. And I don't know, I don't know if I sent you this or not, but so Daniel Sorensen, I
Hmm.
found the funniest meme the other day, and it was Matthew, and his face was just broken, and it was like when you find out you're still on a team with Daniel Sorensen, like it was just so funny. So kind of double burn, like yeah, you got out, but you can also take this with you. So we'll see.
I I hope that how's the best way to say it? I want
Don't
Kansas
sugarcoat it, just
City
say it.
I want Kansas City and Denver to be like the old Airway Montana days when Montana was with Kansas City. That's when the rivalry was good. Now, granted, Joe
Back when
Montana
you
was
guys
a
were
whole lot,
winning.
as
No.
I was saying, back in the back in the 90s. You know what? We have ourselves a quarterback now. I will say this. I do want the old rivalry to come back. Yes, when we were winning, that makes it makes you guys look better. You guys, beating a team that sucks isn't it's just putting icing on the wound.
You have the tools. You have the tools. You definitely did a good job. Got now you have a quarterback. That's going to help a whole lot. So I don't know. We'll see. How do you think he's going to settle in?
I like the fact that Russ came in immediately. I'm watching it right now here. I like Russ that he came in immediately, got with the receiving core, practically like, hey, let's just get to work right now. I think he's going to be perfectly fine. And I know Clyde. I talked with Clyde, of course, last week on the last week's episode with Clyde. I could see where his stake is. I could see his insight, obviously mine. I said I do think Denver makes the playoffs. See, I don't think a Super Bowl this year. I do think 23 we will. I give
Fair
I
enough. It takes
give
time.
I give us the year to form, even though I think it's gonna be a whole lot quicker than people think. And then you got, Nathaniel Hackett and all what he wants to do. I think Russ is gonna be okay. He's got the weapons. He's got Judy if he can catch. He's got Sutton if he can stay healthy. Albert O is going to be, I think, a stud and tight end. Uh,
He
Tim
brings a lot to
Patrick's
the
going to be
table himself. I mean, I will joke and kid about it, but he is a very, very valid, obviously MVP level quarterback. So it is what it
oh,
is. I think you're
absolutely.
going to be good. It takes some time though. I already told you you got
Devo-
2 losses. But you're 2 in already. So
Nah,
you just
we're
gotta
split. We're at least splitting with you guys.
bet.
Even though I still think we can steal one in Arrowhead and then win back in the Mile High.
Have you been to Arrowhead? It is a place. Like
Negative.
it is an experience. It is a hard place to try and play a football game if you don't play it there all the time.
Well, it's definitely a tough place to win. I will say that you guys have got the loudest fans in the league
Yes,
by
absolutely.
if you want to go deaf, I guess at the age of 32, then I guess
It's
that'd be
so
your
worth
place to
it.
go.
Yeah, it's so worth it. It's an experience. You should do it. Come when they play. Bring it on.
Was it
Hey,
New Year's Day, and a few weeks prior to that?
I think so. I have it written down somewhere, but I'm too lazy to look. You're probably right.
Um. Okay. Um. No, I think Denver's fine. I really do. I think Randy Gregg is going to be make or bust. He's going to be one of those. It was a good signing, or it's going to be a flat out crap show.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Sometimes
DJ
that works out the
Jones,
best, man. I'm a huge fan of somebody with something to prove. Like start me down here, I'll end at the top. So that's kind of our entire. Well, I wouldn't say entire, but Chiefs love to take an underdog. Most of our players are, so that's super exciting. Give them a shot, let them try. Don't have to dive too far into that, but yeah, like we'll take a chance on somebody here or there. Even Travis
uh,
Kelsey.
well, I mean, I think that's where you give credit to Andy Reid, strictly
Yeah,
taking chances on these guys. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think Pat Mahomes was what was he 6 overall,
10,
5, 10,
10,
something like that.
10, I believe,
I think so. Yeah,
because his number
definitely
was
top
5,
10.
and so he did 15. So yeah, I
Yep.
think he's number 10.
So you got 10th overall. He wasn't too bad at Texas Tech. I'm like, ugh. But
He made some bomb
again,
plays, but he flew under the radar. I mean, just it's
hmm
Texas Tech. So then again, that's good recruiting. That's really, really good research. And I mean, they pretty much fought. They were like, this is our guy. And I mean, look how it turned out. So
you guys, I mean, hey, look at it this way. It's gonna be a fun division. It's gonna be a fun division, period, because you got Kansas City, of course, being Kansas City, Denver now with Russ Wilson. You got Vegas now with Devontae Adams, and that's a little scary. Of course, we don't have Henry Ruggs, but you got Hunter Renfro. You got who is it? Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Of course, Derek Carr and
mhm.
company. So they should be good. And I still am a Justin Herbert guy. That kid can play.
I think yes, he can. And it's either going to go one of two ways, either or not. So, oh, tell me you're a Josh Allen fan. Let's go.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing. I am too. I mean, I hate to play him. I don't want to play him. Definitely. Well, unless it's, a game like the 13-second game, which was probably arguably one of the best football games that I've watched recently in years. Like that game was insane. Solid stuff. It sucks. And here's the thing: it sucks to play a game as well as he did
Mm-hmm.
and still lose. And so I definitely felt it. I wasn't necessarily much of a Josh Allen fan. I think he had a really, really slow start. He just wasn't a standout if you want my honest opinion. I mean, but he's also, not a team that I want to be better than us. But he's really made it like he's super mobile, and I love that about a quarterback. I'm just super glad that Patrick Mahomes is not. Like I'm always just like just lay down, lay down. But like Josh Allen, he takes chances. He'll go, he'll run. He's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
So good for him. Makes him a total threat. But we'll see. That's a Brittany. His Brittany's way worse than our Brittany.
Ooh, really?
It's a
Ooh.
thing. Ugh.
I'm sure I shouldn't say most. I'm sure there's a few NFL wives out there that's probably annoying like Brittany.
Shoot. If I didn't have to work, I don't know what I'd be doing with my time. Probably causing some problems.
Well, I'm not going to go into a few discussions, but nonetheless, yes, I'm sure that you would probably be at least on the news to some degree, whether it's whether it's high speed chases or you're just flat out, I don't know, being weird to these Arkansas players or Kansas City players, or you would be
It would
just
definitely be something. It would be, yeah, it would be fun. So, tune in either way. Okay. What next? You made fun of Brittany, made fun of Andy. Trying to be civil over here. I didn't even talk. Russell Wilson's not bad. Let's go.
I will say this though, and it's not much of a hot take when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. I do think they'll win it all this year. I really, really do.
Did you seriously? All right.
They should have beat you guys last year.
But they didn't.
No.
Did you watch that game?
Oh, I watched it. Yeah, I was
I
disappointed in.
sad cried. I happy cried. I yelled so loud that my neighbors freaking heard me and did a welfare check. I like it was that it was all of the emotions. Like that was a really good game.
No,
That was solid
it
football.
was fun.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And you know what though? Like I don't even mind losing. Like everybody loses. It
Well, it's
sucks.
part of life. Yeah.
It's well, especially part of football. If you don't, and we did that with the run it back year. You
Hmm.
talk it up, you talk it up. You're so hyped up on it, and then what happens? Boom. Well, I think losing is healthy because you reorganize, figure something else out, change it up, do this, do
Yep.
that. You have to reevaluate. So I don't know. I'm not really the. I'm not a sore loser, but I'm always the first person. I swear, I'll get 30 phone calls. Chiefs lose the game. I'm like, turn it up, turn it up. Everybody wants to be like, oh, they lost. I'm like, yeah, no, I watched it.
Well, you know what I'm going to be doing when we beat you guys this year. Then
Bring it on. Go ahead. I'll take your call. I'll be like, yeah, let me hear it. I'll give you like 3 minutes, and I'll be like, all right, you're good. Let's go. Moving on. Catch you
is
next
it
week.
3 minutes because of Russell Wilson's number?
Oh, is that all? Is that that's probably all the minutes he has in him. That oven's pretty cold. I think he's cooling off, but that's all I gotta say.
Well, I did say this to who was it? I think I was on Dan's show, Time to BS. Shout out to him. I do think I was said it on his show. I will say this, and it's not much of a hot take if you're a Denver fan. I'm sure some people probably think it's a retarded thing, but it's either going to make or break George Payton's career.
Yeah, let's see.
Because I mean, wasn't really high in this year's draft class in regards to quarterback. So okay, you're not going to lose there. I do think next year's draft class, when it comes to quarterbacks, presuming they all leave, like a Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud out Ohio State. But again, these rookie quarterbacks, they're bust as well as they could be. So I
What a
mean,
strange draft this year too. Like, was that
hmm
not weird? And I have to throw some love to one of my guys. So like, literally, the draft was just like, let's scoop them up. Let's scoop them up. Where were the quarterbacks even? That just was non-existent. So Traylon Burks, and I swear to God, he would have been such a perfect fit at Kansas City. Watched every game. Obviously, he's played. I love it. He's good. He's gritty. He's not perfect. He's not perfect. He's built a little bit different, but man, he
right.
has heart and can make some stuff happen. So I was like super hoping he'd go to Kansas City, but he was traded up for, and that's an Arkansas player. Like just the pride in that moment, I was
Hmm.
like, I don't even care that he didn't come to Kansas City. I mean, it was a pipe dream. I knew it probably wouldn't pan out, but just like the pride in that, where somebody was like, no, it's getting down to the wire. Like we have to pick, and this is the one we want to pick. So that was pretty cool. Things are changing at Arkansas, especially for Arkansas football and basketball. Kind of a good year for both.
I think Arkansas is overall. I think they're really going in the right direction. I know it's people like, well, we just got done talking about the Broncos and the Chiefs. Hey, tonight I can't promise we're not going to be all over the place.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
it. I stay that way.
but you got Arkansas. You got Arkansas football, which has came out of the graveyard after a horrendous last 4 or 5 years prior to.
Mm,
Then you got basketball, which is up and coming.
Muscleman.
Great run last
He's
year.
doing
Yep.
great things. Great 2 years. Elite Eight. 2 years in
Yep.
a row. That's huge for us. So we
Oh,
have, you know
absolutely.
what, the entire thing you can, I honestly, all of that falls on our amazing coaches. We have the best football coach, Pittman. He's incredible. He has heart.
Yep.
He's super, super smart. He knows how to work the system. He knows how to get it done, what needs to be done. And then you have Musselman, who's, I
Hmm.
mean, if you don't follow him on Twitter, I don't care if you like Arkansas or you don't. He is Twitter gold. Like that guy is hilarious. Like he's so about just the fan base. So one of the football games, he literally went to Sonic and like ordered 1,000 breakfast burritos like a few days before the football game, and then he threw them out like footballs into the crowd at the student section. And like people made shirts. They were like, "I'm just here for the burritos." Like it was a whole deal. Like that's how you hype fans up, especially when you've been a little sleepy for a few years. So yeah, super super good stuff. Like it's good sports. Go
Yeah,
follow him.
you guys were sleepy quite a
We
while
were
the last few
mm,
years,
yeah.
especially
So
when you're losing to North Texas.
it was bad. I won't even lie. I mean,
No,
there's no getting around it.
no, it was
We had some
horrible.
rough,
Yeah.
we had some rough times. Hey, speaking of that, we have a very exciting game coming up, the Missouri State game, which is almost hilarious. Bobby Petrino, which is almost hilariously within a few days of the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue event here. I swear to God, somebody did that on purpose. Like, I'm like, how does this even happen? So that's going to be a fun one. Always like shoving it to him anytime we can. Other than that, we have the Alabama game, which is October 1st, which will be great. I'll get a lot of slack for that one, but I look forward to probably losing.
Don't count out the one that I like. There's a few
But yeah,
games
I
that
have
I
to see how we
like.
start playing.
I mean, the schedule in itself is just tough, but there's a few games I like that's really, especially your non-conference. That first one with Cincinnati is going to be interesting. Now,
Cincinnati.
granted, they lose quite a bit, but
The thing that sucks
Cincinnati.
about that game is the time. It's at 2:30, and you know how hot it is in
Hmm.
Arkansas at 2:30 in September. Oh man, so that's for the real ones there. I'll be watching that one at home.
Excuse me, South Carolina. I think it's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
Simply because Spencer Rattler's there, and I kind of want to see how he does. I
That'll be
can't
fun to watch.
stand Tex. I can't stand Texas A&M. I hope you guys beat the you know what out of them.
We will. I'm pretty confident.
Shout out to Herb, Alabama.
That's what I
Which,
said.
by
I
the
know.
way, he did want me to ask you a question. Why do you
That's it.
hate on Bama so much? Why are you tired of Bama so much?
Because it's Bama. Is there actually like an explanation for this? Like what?
Well, what's
BAMA. It's just you know what's crazy though? I honestly am way less fan of Georgia. I mean, I can deal with Bama. It's fine. It's just I don't. Here's the thing. I don't like to play them. We haven't been good for so long. Just don't even come to town. Just take the win, and we'll see you. Next year. Used to. Now it's a little bit different. So now it's a little bit more gritty, but we still are probably going to lose. But at least it's decent football. It's Bama. Bama. I was literally raised where you don't like Alabama, and I just learned to not like Georgia. So that was my own decision. Not a Bulldogs fan. Terrible.
well, I told Herb. I said more than likely, I said I'm not going to speak on her behalf, but I can guarantee it's probably the same answer I'm going to give you, and it's because we're sick and tired of you guys winning. That's all it
That's
is to it.
right. I'm tired
That's
of it.
exactly
Like
just like
try
New
to
England.
tune.
New
Try to
England
tune.
through
Let somebody else have a
2000
moment for once.
exactly 2001 till whenever for New England. And it's Bama's the same way. Now it's Tom Brady. Everybody gets sick of Tom Brady
And I
winning.
have mad respect for Tom Brady. Super great player. Everything, but I do not want to play against him, and that's because he's different. He's very good. And it's different though having one that's also good, a quarterback that's also good. So it's just part of it. It's part of it.
I had Pat Mahomes beating Tom Brady's in Super Bowl rings, but you guys got to get one here soon. Otherwise, that's going to be down the drain.
Wait, what?
I said you guys gonna have to win a few more rings here because I did have Pat Mahomes winning more rings than Brady.
Oh, really? We're goat
Hmm.
level in it. All right. I mean, that's a stretch though, man. Oof.
It's
I honestly don't
doable,
want him to
but
play that much football. Right? I'm like, here's the thing, Brady, just hang it up. He's playing golf tonight. Just go do that. Like, you
he
seriously, like,
can't. He's I don't know why he came back at 40, what, 45.
yeah. Why would you risk your body, your health? I mean, look at Drew Brees. That was almost sad to
Mm-hmm.
me. Like that really broke my heart. Of course, always I don't want the Saints to win. It's whatever, beat the Saints. Really have a lot of respect for Drew Brees, but he just busted himself up, and I don't understand why. Like, just stop. Like you put in your time. Just go live life. If I had like $60 million and worked a job for a few years, I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
deuces and just take my money and go. And there's really no shame in it. Like at a certain point, like if Patrick Mahomes was to stop playing next, I would be like so mad. I'd be like, you haven't even given us what you're supposed to. You owe us a little bit more. But Brady's almost a senior. Like, just stop already. If he was terrible, nobody would care. So he could be like old Ben out there with 3 braces on and just like
Mm-hmm.
barely running 6 yards and whatever. So I
Big
don't know.
Ben
Doesn't make
over
sense to me
Big Ben overstayed his stay.
for sure. Yeah, not a
And
big,
I still think
not a big
Manning
fan.
did too, because Super Bowl 50 year, it
But I
was
enjoyed every
bad.
moment of it. I was
Well, I did too. I mean, it's Peyton
stupid.
Manning. How can you not like Peyton Manning? But it's just, of course, I was ecstatic because that was our Super Bowl year. But
Yeah,
it was, for the except, put aside the Vince Lombardi, it wasn't pretty. Let's put it out that way. But
a lot of his years weren't though. A lot of his games weren't pretty. He just somehow found
mm-mm.
a way to sometimes almost when it counted win. So unless it was against Tom Brady, and then he usually didn't win those.
It's true though. No,
Too
I
much
do
quarterback.
say. Where we at here? Okay, I do say this with Arkansas. All the tough games are at home,
Yeah.
for the exception of Auburn, which I don't think there'll be much of a threat. Here's
No,
my
I think
hot take, and
let's hear
here's
it.
why I think you may like this. You look at October. There's two games that I'm really concerned. BYU, I'm not really concerned about, because I think they'll be overlooking towards next year for the Big 12. But you got Bama. Don't count out Mike Leach and Mississippi State, but October is winnable. And I'm going to say this, and I want to see what people think. So if you're on here watching, I know that you are, because I think I have 7 up there right now on the views. Um, Arkansas upsets Alabama in Fayetteville October 1. They win out to advance to the SEC championship game.
I mean, I love the
Schedule
sound of that.
schedule is absolutely favorable. You got back-to-back weeks, A&M and Bama. And A&M was neutral site with Arlington, which I don't care about that. But A&M and Bama, if they can survive those two, they're going to win out. I already got
I,
them beating Bama, so
what? All right. Take back everything bad I ever said about you. That's awesome.
I'll message her then. I'm like, what'd she say?
He'll tell on me. All right. So,
Yeah, no kidding. Uh,
uh,
no, I do
yeah.
think that you guys. I think that I like, even though he sucked leaving. I do blame Lincoln Riley for that. But you got Jordan Hazelwood coming from Oklahoma, who can be a big time threat. Um, I think overall, because Jefferson's back at quarterback, isn't he?
Yes. Yes. We lost Burks.
That's what
We
I
have,
thought.
and here's the thing, which was really cool too about last season, especially. And like I said, I see the same thing in the basketball team. Like, we're playing different. We're playing for something. Like, we have heart. Our locker room is alive. Like, those
Hmm.
guys, they care. And it's something we didn't have for a long, long time. It was show up and see what happens. And that is, I mean, that's not why I like sports. I like the nitty-gritty. I like the passion. And so we had a lot of really good wins last year that literally just like, you're like, well, we tried, and then we won. And so just those
Right.
moments and things like that. So I think we definitely, I don't know, I'd have to see the first few games, but like, is it possible? Yeah, because we have one of the most amazing fan bases. It's kind of like Kansas City. Like, we love our Hogs. I don't care if we won
Hmm.
0 games. I'm going to show up and scream and have fun and root them on. And if we lose, it is what it is. And we'll just do it again next week. Like, it's just, we have that hometown heart. So if we can, I mean, if we can play at least like half as decent as we did last year with maybe some of the new, the new talent we got, I think we're gonna be good. So I think I'll be all right.
The
I think
running
we'll beat
game, I
Bama.
think, is going.
Now I have a little
Oh,
bit more confidence. We'll just beat Bama. I'm gonna make a shirt.
well, I think. I mean, look at it this way. You look at last year. Arkansas riding a hot streak coming into Tuscaloosa. Bama being Bama. Okay, whatever. I was disappointed. I think the pressure got to him so much last year against Alabama. When things went bad for Arkansas, it went bad and it went bad south really, really
And
quick.
that answers your question. Why Bama?
Hmm.
That's why. Because there's so many moments like that. I mean, it just is. It is what it is. But we'll see. I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's Arkansas's year. I ain't saying they're winning the SEC championship, but they're
I think
getting
we're
there.
here. I'm pretty. I mean, I'm pretty confident. So we'll
I
see.
like
Bring
the
it on.
chances.
And you know what it's like to be an Arkansas fan. If we win 2 games, then that's what it's like to be an Arkansas fan because you really think you have a chance, and then something pops off, and you're like, "Well, that was fun for 45 minutes while it lasted. Let's go, big Suey."
And what concerns me about Arkansas, but it's not just Arkansas; it's every other team. Oklahoma does at times, especially in the mid 2000s. They're always doing well, but then they trip up to a team like a Missouri. They'll lose to somebody so stupid that they shouldn't have lost to. And like I'm looking at the
Throws them
schedule, I'm
them
like, who
off.
would be that team? Potentially, it's not going to be Missouri State. It's not going to
Better
be
not
Liberty.
be. No, we got history there.
Oh Lord, if you
Mm.
guys lose to Missouri
That
State, I'm
that
definitely not calling
one,
you.
that one, I'm for sure going to. Like, I will be there. So hot or not, I think it's a 6 p.m. game. It'll be all right. I'm going. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, OU's on the road that week, so I got to find a buddy of mine, um, D'Artagnan. He plays for Cincinnati now, and since he goes to Tulsa, so I think that's a Thursday night game though. I don't know, but I know if I do
Oh,
believe it's that week.
our what is it? Is our first game in Cincinnati, right?
Hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
And he's got
So
that marked
th-
down in the schedule.
that's one I have to go to because there's at least a small percentage that a certain um, NFL player might be there. I mean, maybe yes, he was at the last year's one, so we'll see how that goes. Hometown pride or college pride, we'll see. No, I'm going for sure. Travis Kelsey might be there, right down the street.
I was gonna say Darren McFadden.
Try to not get into a fight. Okay, what next?
Yeah, my phone will be on full loud noise, so in case.
Yeah, you'll probably need it. Yep, yep, exactly. All right, what next?
But
Oh,
no,
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Nope, nope.
No, go ahead. Ladies first.
Well, I thought we were going to talk about OU and being in the big boys.
Oh, how I love
Big
the
boys,
big boys,
big boys.
man. I'm ready for this. So first off, Oklahoma, of course, we don't know exactly as early as 2025. I still think it's going to be next year, but just for the simple fact that Georgia comes to Norman next year, week 2. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah,
But
I'm sorry. I don't look forward to that for you at all.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. You should definitely be there and support Oklahoma because I can guarantee I will not be working and I'll be watching that game. But that's
Oh,
next
that's a
year.
stretch. I'll send you a text and be like, "Hope you win."
Is that like
I
being
mean,
sarcastic?
Georgia. No, I always want people to beat Georgia. So we'll put crap out of them. I don't care.
No, I like no. I have nothing against Georgia. I do blame Lincoln Riley, that little bitch, for us to
Oh,
losing to
sensitive.
Georgia.
Yeah, that's rough.
He didn't have to squib it. Why did he squib it? Can somebody tell me that? Trying to
Oh,
find OU. Trying to find OU schedule real quick. But anyway, now you're looking at. I like Oklahoma. Now, obviously, don't want to get ahead of ourselves too much. I do think though it will be next year. I don't see how. I just don't see how OU in Texas, even though those little
Texas.
bastards suck too. I will. Speaking of Arkansas, I was disappointed that you guys could not seal the deal against Texas in the softball super regionals. I was
Yeah,
bummed. Oh well.
yeah. Hang
But
around, you'll be bummed a lot more. But yeah, it happens.
you get you got Georgia on September 9th, 2023. OU will be playing them. No, I like. Here's where I'm at with the SEC, and here's where I'm gonna pick your brain now because, of course, the SEC had this spring meeting. OU Texas wasn't not so much involved. They weren't there because the SEC obviously approached them separately, just for the simple fact that technically, legally, they haven't officially moved over,
Yeah.
even though they did. But nonetheless, conference obviously they're not going to do the pods, which is I think the idea was 4 teams, 4 divisions will equal up to your 16. I think they had it to where it was going to be Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Texas. Practically keep them almost regional type. But I guess the way that they're going to do it now is potentially have it as your typical. I think it's 9 conference games. 6 are going to be rotating throughout the years. 3 permanent. I'm going to say this. I like that for the simple fact. However, I don't. I do and I don't. I like it because at least you're guaranteed 3 teams. Obviously, we all know OU's going to get stuck with Texas every year. That's a given. Here's my 3 that I really, really want to be permanently on our schedule year in and year out. Texas, just because you can't get rid of that Red River rivalry. You can't
Hmm.
make it every other. What would be every other almost 8 years, 5 years,
Yeah.
something like that. That would just ruin the rivalry. Just like when Nebraska bounced to the Big Ten, that ruined that with Oklahoma. I'm going to say my permanent 3 teams is Texas, Georgia, and Arkansas. Can you imagine OU Arkansas? That would absolutely be a humongous new rivalry because you're literally, I don't know how far Norman is from Fayetteville, probably a good, what,
Like
6, 8 hours,
five and
something
a
like
half
that.
hours, something like
Yeah, if
that. I
that.
mean, it's very drivable. Yeah.
It's it's a
So
definitely
you'd have
obviously
a
a
lot of home fans. You have a lot of away fans. I mean, that makes for the best atmosphere. I mean, the best atmosphere. Yeah, that's solid. I'll 100% that. That's awesome. Let's do it. Hope it
So
should work
from
out that
my
way.
house to Fayetteville is 3 hours and 18 minutes.
Hmm.
So you're looking at almost 4 hours because from here to Norman it's
Oh,
30 minutes. So
we
you
do
got
way
4 hours.
crazier things for way less events. So yes, yeah. Well, Arkansas is down to drive. We'll do it. Fayetteville. Mm, that'll be fun.
And plus my dad went to Arkansas too. So
What?
yeah, he got his degree at OU. He got another degree from Arkansas and then Southern Nazarene, which is a local university here in Bethany, or which is
Yeah.
about 30
Well,
minutes away.
well, that's things I didn't know. He's
Hey.
alumni. I like it.
Yep.
Forever have
Nah,
a place.
no, he loves Arkansas. He
We
always told
treat
me, he
ours
said,
really good around here.
because when he went to school there, it was look, Holtz was a head coach.
Oh,
Eddie
that's good
Sutton
stuff.
was basketball.
Good times.
I
Love
can't
Lou.
remember who he said baseball, but he said that those were obviously the good years. Of course, then you got Nolan Richardson's 40 minutes of hell. That was
Mm-hmm.
that was a fun one. But no, so what's your take on this new SEC? And obviously now I'll talk Oklahoma football, but you look at the SEC. Obviously, OU's done with the Big 12, and that was kind of proven when they didn't show up for their annual meetings. And then you got Texas, which I think is I don't know why, but whatever. Your take, obviously, college football as a whole is completely the old school college football as we know it's gone.
Oh, it's
You
gone.
got the
Yeah.
the realignments in
We,
full force. The NIL I don't like,
NIL.
but it is what
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Here's
Um,
the thing, and oh, are you ready? Here's the
mhm.
thing. So I've talked to so many people about it, and I think it's just a mindset thing. Like for me, I don't like change. I'm not going to lie. I'm the type of
Right.
person that I want things to be like how they're supposed to be in my mind anyways. Doesn't make it right, but I mean, I think it's right. So that's what I like and don't change it. But
Right.
in that same sense, I think that the change here is I think it's good. I think it was time. It needs it. You have old programs with old money, old connections, old, you have kids that don't even know any, they're, I'm going to go to, we'll just say some random college when I play, or, whatever, for not the right reasons. The education isn't really even the reason they're going. It's all for clout. And that makes sense because college football literally is your stepping stone. It is
Mm-hmm.
your stepping stone to get to the NFL. And I am a huge NFL fan, and people, it's controversial. I don't care. I also love college football. I like to watch my team play. I hope we win. Like, I get super invested in my team. I don't put a lot of stock. I say that I will watch for all-star players, and then I'll watch an LSU game, and that makes people so mad. I'm like, I'm watching the players, not really rooting
Mm-hmm.
for the team. But like, so for me, it's all about how to get to the NFL. And you either do or you don't. Sometimes you make it,
Right.
sometimes you won't. Sometimes you're an all-star, sometimes you don't know. But so like in that process, like I feel like it's leveling the playing field a little bit. They're at least trying to. So yeah, things are going to be a little bit different, but maybe, maybe someone goes somewhere that they wouldn't for whatever. And I don't think it's like a big enough ordeal that it's like really going to shift anything, which is I think a lot of people think it's just going to shake everything up, the NIL or whatever, for instance. I think it's just going to be a slow trickle. Things are going to change a little, whatever. Pop a beer, watch a game on Saturday. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just that's not changing. So we'll see. I mean, if you're the big schools and now you're not getting all the talent, that might suck. So uh, sorry, it is that's my take. We'll take some of those leftovers. Let's go. We've recruited really well though, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't hate it.
I like to an extent, I like the NIL because a lot of these kids do come from unfortunate situations.
Absolutely.
You get like the Johnny Manziels. I don't think they need it that much, but you can't obviously pick and choose. It's a fair thing. I do know, like Bryce Young, for example, makes 6 mil out of all of his stuff, which is insane for what is he, 20, at least a 20-year-old. And
Mm.
so, that's
Don't give me
insane.
that
But
much money at 20. Good Lord. Whew, that would be dangerous. Just saying.
I do like. I am excited about Oklahoma. Obviously, that was thanks to Texas A&M making that rumor that was apparently not even true at that point. Um, but I do appreciate Texas A&M for speeding that process up. But you got Oklahoma, Texas coming in no later than 2025, still as early as next year, which I still think it's going to be 23, but we'll see. From your perspective, obviously being a fan of a team that's in the SEC, do you like, and obviously the two big name universities? There's other sports I'm a little concerned about how they're going to compete, baseball being one, but how do you in basketball? But how do you look at from a SEC fan, Arkansas fan? Like, what was your first reaction? Like, hey, this is pretty cool, or hey, okay, what's
What just us being in the SEC?
right?
It's hard. You play hard teams. You play a hard schedule. Like, it's typically, I think, the more talent. So, in that sense, when you're good, okay, sorry, my cat. When you're good and doing well, oh, you're great because you play in the SEC. When you are
Mm-hmm.
terrible and playing arguably the best talent, then
Oh, of
it's
course.
awful because yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
absolutely, yeah.
if you can come in the SEC and roll with the big dogs and at least do decent, you'll love it. It's great. It's gritty football. It's great organizations. We get a lot of attention just for the fact that we're SEC, and so if the attention's good, then it's awesome. If it's not good, then it kind of sucks, and you're like, damn, why we got to be in the SEC? So we'll
I do
see.
think
You guys
Oklahoma.
will
I
do just
think
fine.
Oklahoma's going to be good.
Yeah,
Think
you'll do
I
just
think
fine.
Texas will struggle.
Absolutely. I mean, that's yeah, absolutely very valid.
I
I
don't.
hope you
I'm
guys
not.
struggle a little bit though.
They will, I think. Let's just say if it's next year, I obviously don't know. In 25, I think they'll be in a better position if that happens to be that. 23, if in fact it is the year that they go into the SEC, I could see them struggling.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even trying to be mean about it, but I think so. But you can, that's the struggle bus, adapt or go under. So it's something we've had to do for a long, long, long time with no talent and terrible coaches. So I think it'll be good.
I like it. I don't like Texas being it for just the simple fact that they can't
It's just
compete
an
in the
easy
Big
team to beat.
12, let alone I don't think they'll compete. But I like the chances of OU Arkansas. I like that. Maybe turn that something into hopefully something.
That's exciting. Let's do it.
Hey,
As long as we win, I
that
don't care.
I don't know about that one. I can't promise that.
I can't either. So that was pure crap talk. It was
they might go into
pure crap.
they might go into 7 overtimes and
No, that would be. But see, that's good football. I'm down. Start me with a good time. Imagine paying for that ticket. Sheesh, I'd
oh
be asleep in
Lord.
the freaking stadium.
I will say this, the NFL needs to adapt the college football overtime rule.
We done messed it up so bad they had to go changing stuff. That's all I gotta say. That one hurt. Somebody was like, "Look, we're having a meeting. Well, this isn't happening twice because we very well could have happened twice if you left it the way it was." That was fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it, but it is what it is. It took an act of craziness to change it. So
And the rules really wasn't that much changed besides each team actually gets a possession.
hey, when that went bad for us, where was everybody at? Nobody cared. They were like, "Oh, they just lost. That really, really sucks. Lick your wounds." And then when we win, they're like, "We gotta do something about this. That's not fair."
I thought it was crappy. I think in the playoffs, both teams. I don't care about the regular season because whatever. But the playoffs, I think that rule should
Yeah,
go into effect at both teams
but, yeah, that's
because
well.
that was too bad. That was a too good of a game not to have Buffalo give a chance.
I completely agree. Yeah, you think he could have got it done? I don't think so.
They were tired.
But
Both teams were
yeah,
tired.
very, 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 very. It was a good game. Shoot, we
I
made
still think Buffalo
T-shirts,
should have won.
Grim Reaper, all of that. 13 seconds. It was like the next day. I was like, "Who is making these shirts?" Gosh, dang. Somebody's pumping them out, pumping in the basement, just like sweating. Like that was some good stuff.
While back, um, oh Lord, hopefully she's not listening to this podcast. I can't think of her name right on the top of my head. Um,
You have to
hold
do
on.
better.
Yeah, if I'm gonna mention somebody's guest, uh, because they might be listening. Like,
I'm just saying,
way to
like,
go, jackass! You didn't listen to me. Um, I know I'm gonna eventually hear it. I'm gonna be looking through this thing. Oh no, go to YouTube. Um, as I'm searching, and I'll eventually find it. Talking Buffalo. Speaking of keeping Buffalo, 'cause I feel bad for those little guys. Do you
poor
think?
little guys.
Do
Oh,
you do you think that fan base is absolutely cursed?
oh. So there's a few fan bases I can say I can't really just. Here's the one thing though, like, I love
Gab,
passion. If you're
Gabby from
passionate about,
FanDuel.
I feel like they're so flipping passionate. Like they literally jump on tables. I don't know, like, okay, that's not something I would choose to do, but I also do crazy stuff, when it comes to not that crazy. But I'm also super supportive of the Chiefs or the Razorbacks. But like, so they're super passionate. Um, I don't think they're as toxic as some of the other ones. I mean, so you know what? Let them have their moment. It can be, let it be their time to shine. It's a good year for them. Let them be happy, have fun. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Here's a question. It was Gab from FanDuel, the world's biggest Browns fan. Um, and she knows her stuff. But that was a question she brought up, and that was wanting to get to. What would you rather have worse? Um, what would you rather go through? And she asked the question to me was lose four straight Super Bowls, obviously towards the Bills, or not make it at all.
Oh, I would say not make it at all. I mean, that's what you look forward to every year. I mean, that's a hard question though because it sucks to lose a Super Bowl. Like that stuff
Mhm.
messes with me for like months. I won't lie. I'm completely emotionally invested. So I don't honestly know. I wasn't that. I guess it was a lot easier this year because we had the big win, in overtime, and that was just you're like yeah, and then the next week it's like we didn't even show up to play football. I was like, what are you
Mhm.
even doing? So we didn't deserve to win. So that game didn't hurt that bad. So if you play like that, going home, with a loss. So I don't know. That's a really good question. I'd rather not find out. So I hope that doesn't happen. So I'll just have to say, like hypothetically, um, mm, I would say maybe not lose four Super Bowls because that would really suck. I think that would be worse. Now that I think about it, yeah, we don't want to do that.
Super Bowl 48 was rough. Losing as bad to Seattle as we did. That sucked. I'd rather get cremated than lose really close. So at least I guess that was the main part. I don't know. Going back to that, I think my answer to her was you always get those people. Well, at least you made it. That was a key thing. Was well, you made it because other teams say they can't or they couldn't or didn't. Okay, well, fair enough. But you got it to where people is more. I don't know
If
more.
I paid $10,000 for or 15,000 or I mean even tickets to Arrowhead are like up in the thousands of thousands
Right.
if you want to sit in a good spot. But like if I paid to go to the Super Bowl, like if I made that, actual commitment and then to lose like especially in a close game or to lose to Brady or whatever, oh, that would hurt for a very long time. I mean, I would get over it, but shoot, I don't think my phone would ring for a month. Just don't do it. Don't do
Would
it. Don't poke.
would you be would you be ghosting everybody on Twitter?
No, no, I'm good with it. I can that at the Super Bowl. I don't know. I honestly can't say because I'm never gonna spend that much money on tickets. So I just watch it from my living room with a bunch of snacks. I'm good with it. I can cry in peace. I can laugh in peace. I can we're good. I don't think I think going to the Super Bowl is maybe overrated. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I know my limits and I shouldn't do it. So no. Playoff games though I love.
I could see you now. You're that fan that goes to the Super Bowl. Somebody records it, puts it on social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's TikTok. I don't care. YouTube. I don't care
Always
what it is.
polite.
And I could easily see you be like the one jumping on other fans for whatever reason because you're so drunk and got so pissed off, and then you get
No, no,
you
no.
then you get carried away.
That's why I don't go to sports bars. Like I know my limits. Like don't no, I'll watch at home, comfort of my couch.
Just guy bobbing.
I'm pleading the fifth. The fifth. The fifth. I'm pleading the fifth. It's never happened yet, but it's been close a couple of times. Raiders games are hard, man. I have to draw my line there because you brought up the fan base, with like the Bills and stuff, and I actually have some very very close friends that are Bills fans, and we have banter back and or eight actually have one very close one, but we have banter back and forth, and it like all it's crap talk and it is what it is, but like overall, there's like that line of like respect and just you know. One of the biggest jokes is our Brittany's better, whatever. It's like it's good,
Right.
clean fun as far as I've ever had, the experience. But Raiders fans, man, that's rough. That's rough, and I have to like really draw my line there because they get personal. They just take it so far. I'm like, you guys, it's a football game. Like at the end of the day, just
Seriously.
it is what it is. Like if we can't laugh and have fun, you're doing something right. I guess I'm super emotional. I might cry, but like it's fine. I'm not gonna take it out on you. Like it is what it is. But like Raiders fans, that's rough. So I try to be very like I have a bunch on my Twitter, and that's fine too. They're all pretty good people, so I'm very lucky for that. But I don't know. You wouldn't have noticed this, but last year, and I had to like separate. This is when my Twitter went from like Chiefs Kingdom, which was
Oh Lord.
great because we were having just awesome. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to detail, but like Chiefs Kingdom, Raiders Nation, and it clashed so hard. I was like, I don't want any part of this. I don't want my name associated with the stuff that's happening. I'm there like tearing people up. And I was like, I don't even want this popping up on my timeline. So now I just have like a great mix of everybody. I have all kinds of fans and just like sports fans, football fans, basketball fans, and it's great. I love that. So don't ever be too biased because Raiders fans are rough.
And
They can't
annoying.
be. Yeah. My best friend's a Raiders fan, and I love her to death, and I say this to her face. She's like the best person I know. She just makes terrible decisions sometimes. So, like, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. Like, you paid money for that shirt? Oh my God.
I will say
It's
this:
people.
Raider fans are annoying, but not as annoying as those Dallas Cowboy fans.
No, really? I
Oh
don't mind
God, no.
Cowboys. I don't mind
Well, they
Cowboys.
think every year it's their year to win it, and they lose in the first
Because
round,
they
and the
had
quarterback
the
can't.
years, they've already had the years to win it. I mean, they had glory days, man. That was like, especially for our age range, that was like everybody was a Cowboys fan because they were the only, like
Yep.
valid team in the NFL. So, and that's the thing, is it never sticks. I mean, you see it in every sport. Have your moment, live in it. Don't be too big of a jerk. You can play and have fun, because guess what? At some point, that moment's over. Like, it'll be over, and you'll have to
Mm-hmm.
rebrand, rebuild. If you're still wearing all your fancy stuff to work, and someone's gonna go, "He's a
Yep.
Broncos fan." Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm just kidding. That was, but anyways, it is what it is. So, I don't know. You should try to be these person. I don't have. There's so many Cowboys fans around here. It's just so close that I don't
Yeah.
even.
Same here in Oklahoma City.
If I didn't like a Cowboys fan, like that's like 80% of our demographic. So I wouldn't talk to anybody. I don't hold it against anybody. Broncos look different. Hey, I kept up with the
So,
Broncos forever, like, because I was a huge Peyton Manning fan. Like, I just was. I followed him very, very hard. Part of why I've been not a massive supporter of Tom Brady, because I can't count how many games we lost to him with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left, and like, oh my God, that
hmm
was great. But yeah,
well, I'm sure you're in the same age group as I am. I'm sure, and so were you a big John Elway, just watching John Elway growing up?
yeah, absolutely. I was completely convinced as like a very young child in school that I was gonna marry Brett Favre. I was like, that's gonna be my husband right there. It didn't happen, but I was I was little. It's Brett Favre. I had like a very short
Did he
list, and I
send you
was like,
pictures?
no, never even got to meet him. Glad I didn't now, but when you're like in grade school, I just was like, it was like it is, hey, whatever, it's Brett Favre. I look back now and I'm kind of like, damn. I mean, I kind of had some decent taste for whatever, second or third grade, whatever. I don't even remember how old it was, but I made a very public
Right.
statement that was going to happen, and it did not. Oh well, I'll hold out. Maybe.
Were you a Elvis Gerbach fan?
Can't say that it was. I like Palomalu. That was like probably one of my favorite players like ever. I think I told you that before though. That was just some solid stuff. Other than that, I don't know. I watched a lot of like Manning, just Peyton Manning, played for the Colts.
hmm
That like the family football that was watched when I was younger. So that I just stuck with. I like Peyton Manning. I think he's a solid player. I think like I'm super excited to see like Arch, what's going to happen there. And if he goes to
Oh yes.
Alabama, I'm going to lose my absolute mind. I'm going to lose my mind. Like I might boycott. I don't, not like it would matter because nobody cares. But so I just like sitting in the corner by myself, and people are like, "What are you even doing?" I was like, "I'm mad. I'm mad. Mad." But like, I really hope he does, and I hope he goes somewhere interesting where he can
I
really
think he'll go to
shine.
Georgia.
Can you imagine the player he's going to be? Georgia. Oh,
Well, it's
yeah.
Bama,
I think
Georgia,
that's
and
like
Texas.
super, super exciting. Yeah. You said
And
Texas Tech?
I think with him, I think what's going to be the deciding factor, because he's a senior this year, isn't he?
I
In high school.
think, I think for his next year, it's like it's coming up. I don't. It's coming up quickly. I followed him pretty well. I should know well enough, but no, I can't state that. I'd have to look it up, and I can't.
No, you're good. No worries. No, I think With him,
So
I
glad.
think it's going to be one of those. If Texas struggles and they can't win again this year, I don't know if they have much of a chance because they haven't been. And I'm not taking a knock on them, but it's the truth. Texas hasn't been back, quote unquote, in quite a while.
It's got to be like he has to be like one of the most. I mean, for me, anyways. But like one of the most anticipated players. I mean, you think about like, come on, will he perform?
Hmm.
Can he deliver? Will he get injured? God forbid. Like with all the pressure, which I mean, obviously his family lineage is striking pretty well. Like
Well,
they're batting
yeah.
like a million. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm super excited. Like I'll definitely follow him, watch him, see how he does. Hope he drafts well. Go Chiefs.
Well, you look at Archie. Archie was a great college quarterback.
Absolutely. It's the DNA. There's no
NFL
way
wasn't
to
so great.
deny that it has to be the DNA. You cannot look out that many. Hey, you have Travis Kelsey, him and his brother. That's an anomaly. Like that, to both be in the NFL at the same time. Like it does
Hmm.
happen, but super, 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 super rare. How can you just be like, yeah, everybody in my family? Like I sat down at a dinner table full of MVPs. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And even the one brother that played basketball. I mean, I still know who he is. So it's kind of it's just insanity. So I don't know. That's exciting.
Well, you got Manning. Both had Peyton had a wonderful career at Tennessee, of course, a wonderful career at Indianapolis and Denver. Eli decent at Ole Miss, and
Oh, brother
okay NFL career. You know,
was
it,
valid.
it was okay. Besides
His
those two
career
Super
was
Bowl years,
absolutely
it
valid.
was. Uh,
It's just because he's little brother, he had that shadow, man. I tell you, as the only
he'll be.
thing he ever had that wasn't going for him was being little brother, being the younger one, the one that came second. Peyton Manning's career in the NFL, the first few years was nothing to write home about. He
Well,
had,
his rookie years
oh
sucked.
God, it was terrible. Terrible. I was like, I thought this guy was supposed to play some good football. And even when he was
Hmm.
playing, in his prime, he could throw some doozies. Like, what the, like I could have thrown some better passes at some point. But yeah, but that's just what made my thing great was he just was, when he wasn't great, he did what he needed to be and still won. So, but nitty gritty, I think like it. I think Eli's it was valid.
It's good enough to make him first ballot, but I will say this for Eli: if it wasn't for those two Super Bowls, no way is he a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, of course, for sure. He
I
beat Tom
simply
Brady
can't.
enough to make me happy, so I'm good with it. He had
I
a
mean,
couple of really good ones in there.
I'll give him credit when credit's due, and I mean, obviously, like I said, it wasn't horrific. I mean, it wasn't one of those that I would sit back and remember every season that he played. I mean,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it is. I will ask you this question: if you did not have Patrick Mahomes as Kansas City's quarterback, so throw him out of the mix. He's like Casper. He's a ghost. He's non-existent. Who would you want to be Kansas City's quarterback?
Mm, that's such a good question. Like current quarterback right now?
You can do current and then the previous. I'll give you two.
Mm, current right now would well, see, there's a lot of factors that fall back on that. Let's see. Current this is gonna make you so mad, but pre-injury and all of that, and actually even
Hmm.
since the injury, I obviously don't have enough information to go on to really fully make a decision on this. But I like Prescott. I like Dak. I didn't want to. I don't think that he has the tools that he needs. I
Wow.
don't think he has the tools that he needs to be as good as he can be. I think he really has potential. I think he has the heart, especially bouncing back like he did. Like when that happened, and because I give Cowboys fans a lot of slack, and I'll text my friends memes and stuff all the time. But like when he got injured, I was like, oh my god, this is devastating. Just because I was
Right.
like, I really hope this doesn't potentially ruin. Hopefully, what he can. I know he's been around, but hopefully, what he can build into if he had. I mean, imagine if he had. He's super versatile. So if he
Hmm.
had more options, and more ways to run, be mobile, pass. I think he would do great at Kansas City. So there, I said what I said, and I probably just lost like 4,000 followers. It's all right. Let's go. I really don't care. I really like him. Like, I could have said like Andy Dalton or something. That would be terrible. I guess of all time, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be an easy one though, because I think it would be cool to see maybe like Manning play with
Hmm.
some like tight ends like they are now. That was such a um, quarterback to wide receiver like era. Just duos, boom, boom, boom. So like, if you had other options, I would think that would make for some really good football. That was a good question.
No, I'm kind of curious because you look at the league overall, and for exception of like the NFC East, I think Dak's probably the better quarterback of the four. I'm not sold on Hurts, even though I do like him as a player. Um, I don't like at all Carson Wentz, and
No, don't
think
do it.
Daniel. I think Daniel Jones is going to be out the door in New York next year.
Mm, it's hurting for some talent. I'm just saying.
Quarterbacks aren't what they used to be. I'll put it that way because I mean, when you're trying to go through it, I don't have the list with me, so obviously, people just don't bank on everything. But you look at the NFC West real quick. Jimmy G or it's going to be Trey
Mm,
Lance. I don't know what they're going to go with that. Still, Jimmy G's okay. I wouldn't say he's superstar, but
you got to
he's
keep them
good.
healthy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's good. Yeah, absolutely, very valid. Of course, we almost
Kyler
gave up the
can
run
be
for him.
better, but
Who was
he
that?
needs to show his Kyler
Oh,
Murray.
God. Yeah.
I still think he should have stuck with football or baseball, but to each its own. Matthew Stafford redeemed himself, but now can we see, what can he see what he can do after that now? And I know
Mm,
and Seattle has no quarterback, so Geno Smith or Drew Lock. I mean, you
I
can.
I think you guys probably have the best chance at it's either gonna really work, man, or it's not. And I'm gonna hope it does. Because I'd rather play good football against you than be like, man, I should really text him because that just sucks.
So I am expecting that when it's I don't know how many points I'm gonna give you guys. So I'm expecting at least when it's 35-24 with like 3 minutes left in the game. I'm expecting that you might be hopefully still around.
13 seconds. That's all it takes. I'll hold true till the end, and then I'm like, I'm sorry for everything that I said. It was completely inappropriate. So I try to not tweet too much
And
because
then
I'm
you
like, I
attempt.
don't want people cashing those in. They'll be like, yeah. In that moment, I truly had faith, and we were going to win, and we didn't. So good for you. It happens.
No,
We'll
well,
see.
we'll beat you guys this year. I just don't know. I'm still going to say split. I think that's probably the more realistic option. I don't think Denver's going to be that bad still not to
I
get.
think we take you at home for sure, without a doubt. I don't think it'll be exactly easy, but it'll be a good one. Like,
It's
I
going to
don't
be a
know,
lot better than it was the last 13
10
games.
points? Make a bet. You have to wear a Chiefs hat. I'll send you one. I have a bunch.
I would hope so.
I have a bunch. This is just my favorite.
We would have. Ooh, I got to. Schedule's out. I know it's. I want to say it's New Year's Day.
Oh, I think
Is
I have it. How did they not write that
let's
down?
see.
Oh, yeah, you were
I
supposed to
think it
know
is
that.
what the Broncos schedule.
Hmm.
Shit, I'm trying to figure out who we still playing. I know we got Seattle opening week. Um, there we go. Let's see. Chiefs. Where are they at? There they are.
We're the
December
pretty arrowhead.
11th. December 11th and January 1. January run. So New Year's Day is in Arrowhead, and December the 11th is Mile High. That's a Sunday night game on NBC on January the 11th, and then of course a straight up noon kickoff on CBS for New Year's Day.
Go on New Year's Day. Let's do it. By
I'll
10.
be down.
Good. By at least 10. If it's a few more or many more, they'll be pulling that. No, that's not what you said. We're going to win by at least 10.
We're gonna. I'll have to edit this one specific clip. So I'll say this. Oh, it's okay. So what are you saying? Chiefs win
So
by 10 in
Chiefs win
Arrowhead.
by 10. Yeah, at Arrowhead. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Now, just keep in mind, I'm
Jeez.
wrong all the time. So don't put too
Yeah,
much stock in
and
this.
my team's always by the time of the year comes around, my team's always hurt. Half the team's obviously off the
They're going to be wanting to
IR
win
list.
and to have a good New Year's, man. We play hard.
S-
We party hard too. You should check them
See,
boys' social media out. It's crazy.
here's what I'm thinking, and then I'll give you my answer. What concerns me, but not concerns me, but with Denver is one thing. They got to stay healthy, especially with Jerry Judy and Cortland Sutton. Hopefully, we have, oh, for the sake of God, hopefully, we have no injury with Russell Wilson. Otherwise, we are effed. Um,
I'm
but
confident enough with Chad Henne to just make that entire same bet. Let's go.
I will say this: it's going to be a tough stretch for Denver from December 4th. Because I don't think the Panthers ain't going to be much, and the Raiders
Mm-mm.
that can't win in Denver. Titans, I don't. I think they got too much quarterback controversy to
They got
be
Burks
anything.
now.
True.
Mm-hmm.
December 4th through the end of the year, Denver's this is gonna be make or break for Denver's season. Real quick, at Baltimore, home against Kansas City, home against Arizona, at LA on Christmas Day, which is gonna be interesting.
Mm.
At Kansas City on New Year's Day, and then of course end it with the Chargers at home. I was hoping the Chiefs and the Broncos would have been week 17. Maybe who knows that would have been the division championship on the line. So I'm sure week 6 or technically now 16. Um, obviously could easily be a division championship game. Who knows? Oh, that's a tough stretch. And see, I don't really
Confidence is
know.
key.
So what are we betting?
I told you, you have to. I'll wear a Broncos hat. And you have to wear a Chiefs one. I'll send it to you. I know you have more than one, so
Oh, I got a ton of Broncos hats
just do the
and jerseys.
doesn't it look great? You tweet it, something like that. Nothing too crazy. Just a little, slap to the ego. I would
I'll
kill
take
me.
that.
It would kill me. So
I'll take that one. Yeah, I'll say 10.
a
Do you like
fun
your chances
game.
better in Arrowhead or Mile High?
Arrowhead. We played fine there though. I mean, really, that's y'all have that going for you. The altitude, that it's so much different. It messes with your
Oh my god.
physical, abilities and all of that. Much like when you come to Arrowhead and you can't think because it's just a fishbowl of a million crazy fans, and
Mhm.
we're all hyped up, and that messes defense up. It messes everything up. So, anyways, yeah, I think it's like almost probably the most level playing field as far as home team advantage. So we'll see. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
either
take
be
you
on
that.
here going, "Told you so," or I'll be like, "Well, I was wrong." So, good job. I don't mind saying either one.
Denver's
I'm wrong all the time.
Denver's season's going to make or break on Russ. I know
Oh,
it's a
yeah,
lot of pressure
100%.
for one player, but
It's an
that's
absolute
realistic.
roll of the dice. Yes.
I like Josh Johnson, the backup, but he's obviously not Russ. And then, so I don't know. I'll take that
Is
though.
Russ still Russ?
We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll be
Change of
watching.
scenery either helps players or hurts players. I've seen players that they
Correct.
get change of scenery and they're non-existent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's seen it too many times.
I mean, you could
And
tend.
then, I mean, I've seen a million times where you're like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. Like,
Hmm.
to be honest with you, scares the crap out of me. I think there's a huge chance that Matthew, if he can get down there and thrive, and I just think the change of scenery, it's close to home, it's all of that. So if he can just get down there and thrive, and honestly, I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but like get out of his own head and just get back to playing football, that's gonna really cause a problem for playing the Saints, I think. Which loved him on our team, don't want to play against him. That or it won't. But I think he's gonna thrive down there. And I think Burks is going to thrive in Tennessee. I really do. It's
Oh,
close to
absolutely.
home. I think so. Yeah. It wasn't ideal. I was like a little bit upset about it, but I like got to thinking about it. I was like, you know what? His this is silly, but like his mom is so like driven. Like she's at his games. She's like super. Yeah. But anyways, family's super important. So you take somebody and you separate it and you send them to New York. It's not ideal. Like you can have fans close. I'll drive and watch a game, maybe even. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he does well. He didn't get any of that good Kansas City barbecue, but I think Tennessee's maybe a close second.
Looking at on your end, the Kansas City schedule, what's one game that you're looking forward to, but at the same time could easily be a loss?
Buffalo.
Oh, you guys
What is
got
it? Week
good.
5? Is it? I'm not looking.
I have no idea. I'll
I
have
think it's week.
to
I think it's like.
let's
Oh, hold
see.
on. I think it's like week 5. I just went. Oh, so soon. Like, not even gonna let us get our legs under us first. Like 5. It's like 5 or 6 games somewhere there. Yeah, I don't want to play the Bills again. I mean, it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a great football game. Hope we can win.
I think it is week 5.
I spat that off from clear memory, and so it could be absolutely not correct. It's week
Week
5,
6.
week 6. I was gonna say it's very week 5-ish. So yeah, not enough. I was hoping that would be way, like let us get our legs under us, boys, and play a couple of. Nope, that's super soon. So at least it's not
You
the
guys
first
have
one.
this you guys have the same bye week that we do. No, you don't. We're week 9, you're week 8. Darn.
I'll take that. I'm fine with that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be overall like it's gonna be a good season, I think, for my teams especially. I will hope that yours do well.
I'm telling you, I've told you time and time again, this team's gonna make some noise, but
I think it's possible.
they gotta stay healthy. That was a key with Drew and as quarterback, Teddy as quarterback, Brennan Allen as quarterback, Case Keenum as quarterback, Kendall hitting the game against New Orleans as a quarterback, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
I watched and hoped that Teddy would have worked out so much better. I tried to have like so much. I wanted that to go way better than it did. It was disappointing.
But then we
Super
had no
disappointing.
offensive line, and that's what sucked. And I understand because well, Drew sucks. Well, you're only as good as your offensive line is. If your quarterback can't get protection, ask Pat Mahomes against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. If you
Oh
can't
yeah,
get the ball off, you're not
absolutely.
going to be any. You can't. You're
It is a team
practically you're
sport.
malfunctioned.
It takes a team. I mean, it really
Hmm.
does. I was talking to somebody about this the other day about how like if I was going to play any position, like just on a team, which one would I just not do? And that would I mean I would choose to be a quarterback over a kicker. I'm not just that's the worst.
Oh,
That's the
absolutely.
oh god. You're not out there enough to like really get the hype. I mean, I guess our kicker Bucker is like pretty awesome, but like you can do a million things right and you miss that one and it's just like and that's where Twitter's terrible because Bucker missed one kick and we lose the game. They're like, fire him now, like he doesn't deserve to be. I'm like, you guys, he made the last 40. Like, why are you even
Hmm.
mad? He's chucking them off from 60 and 70 yards at practice, and he makes one, and it's probably because the wind was blowing and it was raining, or somebody didn't hold the ball right. But no, it's like just crucify him. We don't want him around anymore. He's terrible. But yeah, I would not. That would not be the ideal. I mean, you risk your body a lot less, which I guess for
Yep.
risk for reward. Maybe there's something to that, but man, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd rather
I
be
feel
Peyton
bad for the
Manning out there
players.
dropping interceptions left and right. Just like, whoops.
I feel bad for the players, especially the kickers, like you mentioned, because a lot of these players, some have Twitter and all that. I feel bad for because they start getting threats. I mean, like, is it
Yeah.
really? That's not even
Well, and
that.
that was the
It's
situation
sad.
with Matthew entirely, and I think
Hmm.
he just couldn't separate himself from it, so he literally lost love for the fans. And once you're at that point, just move on. I mean, as much as it kills you, but like, oh yeah, social media is absolutely terrible. It, I don't know. You probably didn't keep up with much Daniel Sorensen stuff, but the year we won the Super Bowl, like that
Hmm.
guy could do no wrong. Super stand up guy. He's got a great little family. I think his personality is pretty awesome. And then we had this last year, and his coverage was just shit at best. It was bad, and so everybody was just like, fire Dan. And I'm just like, God, last year you guys just loved him to death. Like, what has happened here? Like, I'm still gonna be like, he had a few good plays, nothing like, not as explosive as it was, but I'm like, man, that would suck. I could never handle that pressure. Mm-mm.
It's sad because the sports world, and you see it a lot. I don't care if it's football or NFL football in general, whether it's college or NFL, is what I'm trying to say. NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, stuff, MLS. The list goes on and on. It's sad that these players, we got so much power. I should say in social media, especially Twitter, we
No,
got so much power into the stuff that literally we can tweet out something and. I don't condone people making threats. Don't get me wrong, and I
mm,
think it's sad that people do. It's like it's just a game, folks. It's okay. And what's really sad is
supposed
the
to be
ones that,
fun. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's really sad, that, especially ones that bitch moan and groan because their star player is out for week 17 on their fantasy football team. I mean, it's like, uh, well, you should have known that. Plan a little bit better.
Went a little bit better. Yeah, starting. Yeah, quarterbacks 17. Jeez. Oh, we got to do this again, fantasy, when it gets closer, because I could
Oh
pick your
yes,
brain.
we gotta get on the league.
Yeah, I took last year off, and it almost killed me. So
Yes, I can't do that.
I'm I'm dying. I'm dying to get back at it. So I'll pick your brain on that later. Tell me what to do. We'll do it. So I had this question I wanted to ask you, this trivia question,
Mm-hmm.
and it's super silly. So
I'm
so I
gonna
was
flunk this.
no, and it's gonna be easy. So I was sitting down the other day. I was looking at the roster, and I was like, "Hey, I was super." Did I tell you this? I was super bored at work, and I was like, "Let's see if I can pick out players from their hometown and the college they went to."
Oh, here we
I
go.
did
Mhm.
surprisingly well. So
Oh,
that
snap.
being said, I also pay a lot more attention to obviously the Chiefs. I don't think I could do that for anybody. But okay, so I was like, "Oh, I did. I did pretty good." So I'm gonna give you a college and a hometown, and you have to tell me. No googling it. You have to tell me who the player is. Plays for the Chiefs. Ready?
Okay, there you go. Just so you know, my phone's covered.
I would so have found a way to cheat. Okay, hometown. I'm just being honest. Hometown is Cleveland Heights. This should already be a dead giveaway. Cincinnati's the college.
You
It's
say
so
see,
easy.
that's one way. It's not
I went
Hardiman.
so easy that it's easy. I just wanted to make you think. Can I tell you? It's Travis Kelce. I did not know that. He goes to like all this. That's why I said I'm going to the Cincinnati game because he goes sometimes. So we just happen to be in the same area. That would be awesome. So, anyways,
Now the
go
key
pick
thing
one out,
though,
huh?
no, because this week they start the week after the college football starts. I think.
What is it?
So yeah,
Oh yeah, it wouldn't work, would it?
let's
Pipe
see.
dreams.
Well, Denver's September. Yeah, no, he can be there because
I thought it was
um
that. I was like, there's a chance.
yeah, because May September the 11th is the first Sunday. I think there's a Thursday night game before then, but see, we're Monday night on the 12th. No, because that's Labor Day weekend. So yeah, that can easily still be possible.
Yep, definitely going. I'll go to that. We'll be there.
Lord.
All right. What now?
Percentage questions for you.
Okay, let's do it.
We're gonna try something out, folks. It's percentage questions brought to you by Storm Check. Make sure you let Wong Lamb know that Mike from Air Raid sends them your way, and he will hook you up, making sure all your storm shelters are ready to go for the spring season, and making sure that your family and even yourself is safe and in a clean shelter. Percentage that the Kansas City Chiefs gets to the AFC Championship game.
70%.
See, I went 72. I still, I
Oh,
still, I still like, I still like.
percent that we win, 80. Mm,
Ooh,
that's a
no,
lot.
no,
That's a
no,
hard
no,
question because I
no.
don't know how we're gonna play yet. Is
But
Judy
see,
just
that
gonna
makes
come
it even more
out
better
and
because
rock on? I don't know. Is he gonna flop? I don't know. That's
see,
just
that makes it better because we don't know the whole season yet. It's just way, way prior to.
I'm gonna get so much crap for this, but let's go. All right, what out? Wrong all the
See,
time.
I say 72% they get there. I still think Buffalo gets there as well, but winning it, I still got Buffalo winning the whole freaking thing. So obviously I can't go too high.
Uh,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a whopping 41% that you guys win it.
oh,
I'm sorry.
your
I'm
shirts
really
I
big
have
on
in my
Buffalo this
closet.
year.
We're gonna do okay. I have
You
faith.
may have to pull out a Pat Mahomes.
That's have you watched that ever? Like that's what we do. Like we'll figure it out. I think so. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna go 80%. We win it.
A player that I cannot stand for many reasons. Joe Burrow. Chances that he wins MVP this year.
0. Gonna get
Thank you very
crap for
much.
that one.
Well, I don't
Maybe
like him. I don't.
15. We'll go 15%.
I gave him 2%.
You did
I
how much?
just 2%.
Oh,
Just
okay. Yeah. See, we're on the same
where
page.
my hands at? There we go. 2%. I listen, and I get a lot of people. And Dan, a good buddy of mine. This thing's all out of whack. A buddy of mine, he hosts a home podcast, Time to BS, out in Long Island, New York. And I get what he's saying, probably because LSU put the beat down on Oklahoma in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl a few years back. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. I don't think he's that good.
I
He
don't think
has
he's
no
that good
offensive
either.
line still, and he's gonna suffer again once, and he's gonna realize that again this year, even though they did pick up quite a bit. But I'm sorry, Cincy fans, you can hate me on this, but
It just doesn't add up.
it's a
The
one
math
hit
doesn't check
wonder.
out. Yeah,
It's a
in my
one hit
opinion, it doesn't
wonder.
check out. One hit wonder. We'll see. Yeah, I'm
It's a
not even
one hit
worried about that.
wonder.
What's next? This is fun.
And don't worry, Bengal fans, you're gonna be like you're gonna be like the Cincinnati Reds. You guys will not see the playoffs again. But anyway,
That we can agree on. I like it.
I'm sorry. No,
No, I'm not feeling it either. Not even a little bit.
nope,
Nope.
they won't make it this year.
It had a good
Um,
run.
yeah, 1 year that was good. I'm
That's good.
happy for them. They
Happens
can,
all the time.
yeah, they can move on and wish Joey be well. Percentage percentage. What's your percentage that Kansas City does not win the AFC West?
Well, that would be 20, right? Since I just went 80 on the other one. I don't
I
know.
think so. Yeah.
There's there's such a chance that this year could just not be a good year. There's also just such a chance it could be great. So I'm gonna err on the side of great. Show up with the pom poms and just hope everything works out
I think you'll like my answer on this one. I got you guys at a whopping 82%. And here's why.
well. If they don't win,
Eh, Yeah,
I got to pick better
it won't be
friends.
you guys, and it won't be us. I think it's the Chargers. Even though there'll be
Mm,
three teams in the, even though there'll be three teams in the AFC West that will make the playoffs, the other two will be wild cards.
that is your opinion, sir, and it is a good one.
Herbert, I'm telling you,
Oh, let me see some more, and then I'll be like, you know what? Maybe you were right. We'll see.
he's gonna.
I don't have enough evidence yet. Nope, not buying it.
This is a touchy one for some people. I don't like it, but I gotta ask it anyway. Percentage that Deshaun Watson plays this year with the Cleveland Browns.
You want my honest take on this? Obviously, you
Mm-hmm.
do. So I feel like we've seen this before. My least favorite quarterback that I can ever remember watching play. I think there's an absolute chance that he will play. That being said, it's terrible, and I hope he doesn't. But I don't have any control over that, so just have to sit back and let whatever happen happen. I guess. Like it's gonna make a lot.
Broke my
It's super
heart.
controversial. It's gonna make either a lot of people mad or an organization happy. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, here's the thing. I was never a fan. This goes back to fantasy. Not last year, but the year before. I had just kind of happened to draft him. I was like, shoot, that wasn't my first. He did me really well in fantasy, like that year particularly. I did fantastic with him. I don't necessarily like him as a player, though. I definitely don't keep up with him, and this didn't help. So I don't know. It's controversial. It is what it is, but we've definitely seen crazier things get swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
That's every team has that. So even the Chiefs. So I
Hmm.
still see,
Hmm.
yeah, I still have Bills friends that
Hmm.
poke pretty hard at Tyreek Hill, even now that he's in Miami. So I'm just like, but yeah, it happens. So I don't know. Will this be the one that they draw the line on and make? I don't think so, but I hope maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to be upset either way because Somebody just retired
Well,
that shouldn't have been playing for like a decade. So
it's a touchy subject for me because I obviously talked about it previously on shows, but as much as it sucks, I think Tyreek Hill should not be playing football. But anyway, or Deshaun. But anyway, 23rd person that
well,
comes
now for
out.
sure they can both go home. So,
Yeah, I mean that
we'll
kind of
see.
stuff. And Adrian Peterson, if people want to know if I won't be too biased, okay, well, OU guy, Adrian Peterson, he's the one that shouldn't be playing either, even though his career is practically over. Um, but no, for me, I 10%. I think he plays.
10? Really?
I don't know. See, and here's the thing. I hate, and this is
Don't
where
be
I
too
think
disappointed.
this is. I wouldn't be. And it wouldn't shock me though either that he plays week one. Here's where I think as sports, and I know it's getting off is. See, here's what I have an issue with. We draw the line of, well, Michael and Tisha got arrested for robbing a bank or whatever. Okay, cool. They spend X amount of years in jail. Okay, cool. Tyreek Hill, Adrian Peterson, um, Greg Hardy. The list
There's the
literally goes
list. It
on.
goes
Yeah, it's
on.
a 5 million page list because it's other players we don't know about because we never heard of. But we
Exactly.
have this list of players that rape and sexually assault and domestic abuse and violence.
Got Ben Roethlisberger, but keep going.
Every the list goes on. It doesn't matter what it is. Oh, a year suspension. Oh, 6 games. Oh, half a season. First, one quarter, crap like that. Then you get who was it that betted with the Falcons? What receiver?
Oh shoot, I can't look it up, but yeah. Well, you have guys out here trying to smoke a blunt, on break, kicking back with their family they haven't seen all year, and they get
Hmm.
4 and 5 game suspensions. I'm like, that's not an enhancing drug. I mean, he didn't do, come on, it's sweet, but like, yeah, and it seems like it's off balance. It absolutely is. I agree completely.
So that's where I get that from. Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Like,
where I get that from is we have a unfortunately we don't have a balance towards people like, well, they're athletes. Well, okay. So they're athletes. That's cool if they're athletes, but still it should be played down the rule for everybody. But anyway, as much as I'm sure he's going to play week one, I hope he doesn't. That's really prefer zero, but 10% I say he will. I just think he's going to be
we'll have to
week one
retouch on
starter.
this when we see what happens. Because I mean, I I would love to say the same thing. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
What's your percentage on that? Germany separately, London separately, and Mexico City separately gets their own teams in the near future.
Oh, that would be great. I don't know how practical that would be, but shoot, I'd chime in. Percentage, 40%. Put a lot
So
of stock into it.
I think London's chances are really high.
Maybe
Germany's
higher.
interesting. Germany's interesting. Mexico City's gonna be interesting. The only difference is that's gonna be with me. I like the idea of express. The at least the London thing. I don't know about the Germany and Mexico City thing, but it is it's something different. But now it's gonna mess up all of our fantasy lineups because Sunday morning at 8 a.m. is when the kickoff is because it's like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
London time. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think that what the
Set an
biggest issue is going to be
alarm.
eventually is time zones.
Set an alarm. Easy fix. Go back to bed. No big deal.
Unless your team plays at noon.
That's
Then you got
true.
to wait till 3.
I've done crazier things for football. Just saying. I've waited
Hey.
in lines for days eating cooler food. I've done it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Worth it.
Your
What's
percentage
next?
that Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs and makes it to the Super Bowl.
0.
I give them 2%. It won't happen. Their quarterback will run around and slide when there's no timeouts left and the clock will just keep running.
Yeah, if that happens, you can come right back to this moment and I'll be like, you know what? I was so wrong and I'm so glad I was wrong. I do not
No,
care. Not happening.
no. I don't like Dallas. I don't like Jerry Jones. I think he's ruining that
Now hold on.
organization.
Hold on.
No,
I'm a
which part?
Jerry Jones. Because
He's
he
an Arkansas. He's an alumni from Arkansas. Yes, he is.
He
He
takes
played
care of us
center.
pretty good.
He
We
played
mess
center.
up and take our goalposts down and get fined $250,000 from the and he usually just says, "Let me get my checkbook." It's like Daddy's got you covered. So he's the that's always the joke when we mess up. Like we've done that so many times, taking the goalposts and they've just been like, just let it happen. They got mad at us last year for doing it, and it was like $250,000, or it was $250,000.
They're
So on Twitter,
expensive.
everybody's like, "Hey, if everybody donates $1, we surely could, come up with enough to pay the fine." And somebody's like, dude, Jerry's already paid that like a week ago. So it's funny. He takes care of it.
He played. Yeah, he's an alumni of Arkansas. He played center for the Razorbacks way back in the day. However, he's destroying Dallas.
I
He has
agree
too much
completely,
control. He has
both
way too
on the
much
field and off
control.
the field.
Well, he has his own show, the Jerry Jones Show. And then when they interview Mike McCarthy, who I think is not going to make it halfway through the season, I think he'll get fired. Um, he'll he'll be like, well, we'll practice. What do you think, Jerry, about practice? No, they should be interviewing Mike McCarthy, but instead they got to interview Jerry Jones. Like he knows
He's a
something.
character. He's a character. That's Dallas for it,
Anyway,
though. He does right by
anyway,
Arkansas. You're right. I don't care. I don't really care what they got going on over there. It doesn't really, not a big deal. Just do it. Keep it over there. And I hope we beat you so I can send you crappy memes about it.
oh, I'm looking forward to OU and Arkansas in football.
It's going to be good
The
this year.
first,
It's going to be really good.
I'm
Not this
still,
year. It'd be
I
like
think
maybe next year.
be cool
It'd be,
this year if OU and Arkansas made it to a bowl game and played
that
each
would be
other.
great. It's happened
Because
before.
they haven't played since the 2001 Cotton Bowl, so
So I was going to say it's happened before. Been a long time. My sister was at that
long
football game. Yeah,
time.
that's nuts. Crazier things have happened.
I think I'm definitely looking forward when OU gets to the SEC and goes to their first trip to Fayetteville as an SEC member. I would love to be awesome to be the first game ever, but we'll see. They'll probably
Mm,
give us like Bama or somebody just out of get go. Oh, your first four matchups are Bama, Georgia, Auburn,
always got to be
and
Bama.
Florida.
See, there you go. It's
Exactly.
always got to be Bama.
Because the
Gee,
SEC is going to have to do something like that. Be like, oh, let's see if OU and Texas can compete now. Here's your first four games of the SEC. It's Bama, Georgia, Florida, and LSU all in a row.
it's a
Texas, it's going
slaughter.
to be, when I say
It's a
Georgia, Bama.
slaughter. Oh,
And then those
God.
four games will be the same for those Texas teams, but it'll be opposite, just so they won't intervene with each other. So I can already see that's
Man,
going to
I
happen.
feel like sometimes they just do that to us on purpose. Like, we're just gonna make or break it right here. Like, are you
Yep.
something, or are you just running around with the ball in your hand? Oh, it's crazy stuff. That's SEC though.
Oh,
They'll do you like that.
we'll give you Vanderbilt and Missouri and South Carolina September, but in October you guys get Bama, Florida, Georgia,
Georgia,
LSU, and
and yeah,
yeah.
exactly. That's
So
how it
there
goes.
you go.
Well, it was fun. We had a good run.
Now I love how
We start
ESPN
drinking
and
beers
Fox
at like
Sports
9
and
in the
everybody
morning.
they'd be
Yeah,
like, "Well, Arkansas started off the season 6-0 until they made the October." Of course they did,
yeah,
because their October schedule was
yeah. It's terrible. Yeah, 6-4, awful. But yeah, 6-4, and
oh,
one of them a bye week. We didn't even show up and lost. Like I swear it happens. All right,
no,
any
you
more
guys will be
percent?
okay. Final two percentage of Arkansas makes it to the college football playoff this year.
Ooh, that's a
I'm
stretch.
telling.
I want to say 15. 15
I'll
playoffs.
go that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just trying to be realistic. I just want to have a good year, have some people settle in, not completely choke, may keep the coach off a motorcycle. Like, let's don't do any of the things that we're not supposed to do, and just have a good, I mean, somewhat rebuilding year. We lost a lot of people, so we'll see.
And since I've
15.
already told you that I think Arkansas is going, I'm about the same ballpark as you. I got Arkansas going to the SEC championship game. Your percentage on them going to the SEC championship game?
I think that's way better.
I think it's
What's
realistic.
to
I
it?
think if they get by A&M and Alabama, I think it's
Yeah,
golden.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's enough in there that I feel pretty confident about. Yeah. Uh, you're probably higher on me than this. I'll say 60%.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I gotta back my words up. I gotta at least go 97. What the fuck was that? 97%.
I will. I'll cheer that on. Let's go. Let's go. I hope you're right.
So
That would be great.
fun final question of the night, and I'll let you go. How many games are you attending to see in Kansas City this year?
It that just really all depends on if they do playoffs or not. Um, I really want to go to at least two. I know that doesn't seem like much. I've worked Sundays for a very long time, so like this is the
Hmm.
first while that I haven't been working Sundays. So now I have way more freedom. But yeah, definitely feel like dang, uh, oh, the Denver game. I will overpay for tickets to go see that. So
I could see you
put
doing
me
that.
one of the end zones, home preferably, and really really close. That's kind of where I like to sit. So shut up, take my money. I definitely think that's a good one to go to. Other than that, I don't know. I'll pick one out, and we do playoffs. I'll go to as many as I can. So I try to do that. Those are my favorite.
Which
So
must be one.
oh, I almost did something very inappropriate. Boo.
Oh Lord, what what were you about to say?
No, I was just gonna flip you off.
Oh,
Just like, one can't just go to
well,
one. Jeez,
divisional round. I'll give you that.
better love playoff games. I guess it's not Arrowhead, it's Gia. Love playoff. I swear to God, they need to change that back. It has been some weird karma since they did that. Is that the last
You'd be all
one?
right.
How many Broncos are they going to the playoffs?
Oh heck yeah, we are. Heck yeah, we are. Now, how far away we get depends on how we get matched up. If we get in, see, it's all been matching up. I like our chances. I will say I do like our chances a whole lot better than I did a year ago at this
Well,
time for
yeah,
our chances last year. Obviously, we don't know what the future holds within the season. I do like our chances. Now, how far can we go? I mean, like Clyde said last week, I mean, any team that gets in the playoffs, it's you're 0-0 from there, and then it's a fresh start. But I would say this depends on how the matchups are. If we get stuck with the Lord, if we get stuck with the, I don't know if Kansas City, that's possible though. Kansas City or Buffalo or something like that.
yeah, it's gonna be rough. That'll be
It
hard.
could get rough from the get go, but you never know. You got to get there first, and then who knows from there. But I like our chances from to make it, and how far it just depends on the matchup.
I
I
like
say
it.
I'll be happy. Hell, I'll be happy if we get to divisional. I think that'd be a winning season.
I think so. Yeah,
AFC
I absolutely
Championship
think so.
game. If we make it to the AFC Championship game, that exceeded my expectations. And if we won't, but if we make it
And
to
I
the Super
super
Bowl,
hope you
then
don't, because the last thing I want is Russell Wilson to have any more of this.
oh my god,
Come on, just a
you know
tiny bit
darn
of
well,
humble. He could be humbled just a little bit and still be really okay.
you
True
know
statement.
darn well that if we make it to the AFC Championship game, I'm blowing your freaking phone up.
Yeah, I hope you. I would expect nothing less.
Oh my god.
I'll just be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
You
oh,
definitely like. I
oh,
would expect nothing less.
and I
I
don't
get
have to
mean.
send.
I get downright mean at the water cooler, like coming off especially a good win. I guess it just showed up. Let's talk. All right.
I'm not just gonna send you OMG. I'm just gonna send you O's like maybe 6 or 7 in a row separate, and then M's 6 or 7 in a row, and then G's 6 and 7 in a row, just to at least enjoy the more of the moment. So
Yeah, make it count. Shoot,
no,
I would not be sad. I would not hate that one bit. If you earned it, you earned it. So we'll see. Maybe that'll happen. I'll look forward to it.
that might have been lightning. Hopefully, otherwise somebody's taking a picture of my house. But anyway, that's
What you got going
uh,
on over there?
yeah, that's exactly what I want to know too. Uh, but anyway, no. Game wise, I hope that I can get to Kansas City this year. If not, Denver. I want to go to one Denver game because obviously Oklahoma City, Denver is a long trip, and
Hmm.
so at least one there and one road. And if it is the road, Kansas City's be more logic because I do not think we enter the state of Texas. So That kind of takes care of that. And obviously, St. Louis is no longer non-existent. So guess what? Kansas City gets the winning nod. So I'm not going. I can't afford to go to London. So
Yo, yeah, wouldn't that be great? Eat at Joe's when you
oh
go there. I'll
man,
probably make a bunch of people mad, but eat at Joe's if you're in Kansas City. Let me know. I'll meet you there. I know some good dive bars, like some decent places. It's a fun atmosphere. You have an absolute blast. It's a very welcoming
at
place,
least I
unless
at
you're a
least got to
Broncos
wear
fan.
my Tim Tebow jersey once. It's
I
in my
mean,
closet, and I swear, and I'm not even when I say out. Well, in this on this note, I will say this: every time I put Tim Tebow on, whether it was Chicago, with the miracle comeback against Chicago, um, Pittsburgh in the playoff, which you can't write that script up, and then
mm,
Miami. There was 3 or 4 games that we had come from behind. I put the Tebow jerseys on. And that's how we won.
mm,
However, what screwed us up in the divisional playoff round in 2011, New England, was the fact that I wore it the entire time.
you knew better. Are you that person that like waits until 45 minutes until the game starts to find your lucky socks? You've had a week.
Nah,
Find them, make sure they're good, and know where they're at. Like, what is even going on here? You've had plenty of time. I don't want to hear
nah,
it. Don't melt down to me because you can't. No, I'm so that way myself. I've done silly, crazy things. I swear to God, like I could only watch games outside the year that the Super Bowl. We went and won the Super Bowl. I was like, this is just really hot out here, but I'm outside. Let's go. I just sit outside and I'll be like, oh, everything, well, that Super Bowl was pretty crazy. I ended up going outside and I was like, oh, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. I'm like, oh my God, so me. You're welcome. Yeah, that's
no.
part of the love
I'm
of it, though.
wake up. I'm all about waking up, get my game day gear on, and
Yeah,
that's that.
yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
waiting to the very last second to
I see
find
people on
my
Twitter. I've been like, I'm blocking you. That is ridiculous. 4 minutes before kickoff. I'm like, I can't find my whatever it is. I'm like, what in the hell? Like, and then you're like telling people that's
hmm
not like suffer in silence. Figure it out. Not
Hey,
good luck.
it's gonna be fun. It'll be a fun year. Of course, we'll talk more once it gets closer. And just think, we're 2 months away from preseason.
Love the sound of that.
Me
Absolutely
too.
love it. Yeah. The off
Well,
season's rough, man. I won't lie. So I'm glad it's on the other side of it.
oh,
We gotta do
we're in
something
the
for
down.
fantasy for sure. Let me know.
Which platform do you use?
I will have to talk about it. I've not big into the betting, so usually I just like goof off on like the Yahoo Sports one, which is fine.
I use
And I'm always like,
ESPN and
drop the kicker
NFL.
first. Drop the kicker first. Oh, get your kicker first. People hate that shit.
Last year, I know talking fantasy. Last year, I was in the league, and it's a Mile High League. I've been in this league for about 6, 7 years now. I won it the last two, but it's one of
Wow.
those we don't keep our players, but every year you get that one play. Last year, someone picked. I don't know who the hell they picked, but it was like a receiver that you could have easily gotten a fourth or fifth.
You're like, what are you doing? At,
It's
at
like,
that
what are
point,
you
at
doing?
that point, they knew him personally or something weird. It's all you never know what somebody's tie to somebody personally. And it's like I won't lie, I'm gonna run some people over to pick Travis Kelsey because I know he puts up points, and then I'll worry about. That's how I got stuck with the
Hmm.
I lost it. I was like, oh, it's all right though. That was a really surprising year because he put up points. So also just a little bit biased, but just a little bit.
Well, he's my go-to tight end if he's available. So
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Why would he not be? That was the year when they were like, "Is he as good as Kittle?" Well, we've figured that out now. So glad that's not in question anymore.
we'll see. We shall
Yeah,
see. But appreciate you coming on. This was fun.
absolutely. Have a fantastic night.
Everyone, you're listening to the Area Attack. I will be in Dallas in 3 weeks. QB Impact. Yours truly will be on the field of the Dallas Cowboys. I will try to find that spot for you Cowboy fans out there listening, and I'll take a picture where Dak Prescott slid and your season
Oh,
ended. I will do that for you guys.
Oh,
But no, looking forward to that. Shout out to Coach Tom George for allowing that to happen, and it's gonna be some good time. I've never been into that stadium, so I've heard good things. I've heard it's really
I
big.
either. Yeah,
So
I've heard it's super nice. So looking forward to seeing pictures.
we'll see. All right, everyone, take care, and we'll see you guys next week. And have a great evening.